let Jimmy Henchman tell you I'm a snitch. Let Preme tell you I'm a snitch. Just say it one time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because Jimmy been snitching since 1942. I'm talking Don Julio, nigga. No, I'm telling him check the paperwork. That's all. Check the paperwork.
All right, now
Jimmy, you know that? Jimmy the rat.
No, I'm telling him check the paperwork. That's all. Check the paperwork. All right, now
Jimmy, you know that? Jimmy the rat.
Queens and Brooklyn got a storm brewing right now, with Gerald Prince Miller and Jimmy Henchman both flooding the internet with hours of content. And I mean hours. Keeping up with every video, every claim, and every response is almost impossible, so a few key details may have slipped through, but one thing looks crystal clear. These two men do not rock with each other. I gotta call it straight. Gerald Prince Miller and Jimmy Henchman clearly have deep tension, and now the situation is getting even messier. Prince Miller starts digging through paperwork, including the alleged proffer sessions connected to Jimmy Henchman. He is not just throwing talk around either. He is pointing toward documents and breaking down what he says they reveal. Then Jimmy Henchman fires back with a heavy accusation of his own. He claims Gerald Prince Miller played a role in making sure Raw Diggs never reached the prison yard. That is a serious statement, and it opens up a major new side of this Queens versus Brooklyn clash. So let's get into everything that may have been overlooked. Whether you are new here or already locked in, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on every notification, because this story has layers, paperwork, accusations, and plenty of unanswered questions. 50 Cent already gave the warning. He said, "Go on and ask Jimmy Hent, just look at the paperwork." Gerald Prince Miller did exactly that. He pulled up the documents and started walking through them line by line, which is why people are watching his breakdown instead of just following random internet talk. According to Prince Miller, Jimmy Henchman was giving up so much information that he allegedly tried connecting a man named Wayne Champagne to the situation. But Prince claims Wayne was not even at the scene, meaning authorities could not charge him based on that story. That is what makes this look extra messy. Prince is basically saying names were being mentioned even when those people had no real involvement. All while Jimmy was allegedly searching for any way out. But Prince Miller was not finished.
Among the statements Roseman made during the proffer sessions was an account of a drug transaction involving a supplier named Wayne Champagne. The government contends that this narrative about Champagne was untruthful and further offers that Champagne was out of the relevant geographical region on the date Roseman claimed. So what happened was Jimmy Henchman told the government about a crime about this guy named Wayne Champagne. But when the government looked into it, they saw that he was out of the area, so he could not have done business with this guy like he said. Jimmy Henchman is an informant and competent informant.
He kept reading from what he says is the paperwork and claimed Jimmy Henchman, once a powerful name growing inside hip-hop, also spoke about people from Los Angeles. Jimmy had already carried controversy for years, especially after Tupac publicly called him out, so this history runs deep. Now Prince alleges Jimmy provided information involving LA street figures, drug cases, and even serious crimes. These are heavy claims, so the documents and full context matter. Pay attention, because this situation is getting dirtier by the minute. Prince Miller's point is that Jimmy Henchman allegedly gave information about the same people who were speaking against him. That takes us back to the Lodi Mack situation. Lodi Mack's real name was Lowell Fletcher, and Jimmy was convicted in connection with arranging the murder-for-hire plot against him.
For the most part, though, the information Roseman proffered was not only truthful, but also in some ways helpful. For instance, some of it was later used by the United States Attorney's Office in Los Angeles. See the test, and it tells you, it refers to the testimony on the trial transcript of DEA Special Agent Stephen Miller. Petitioner provided information about drug supplies and unrelated cases, and even about his brother's criminal conduct. He also discussed the 1983 murder of a club owner, eventually admitting his role in it, and the 2010 drug-related murder of an individual named Lowell Fletcher. The government does not dispute that some of Roseman's proffer sessions were truthful, nor is there any disagreement that Roseman had engaged in these repeated proffer sessions specifically to secure a cooperation agreement and avoid trial.
So Prince is basically suggesting Jimmy started naming people once the pressure came back his way. But according to Prince, that was only part of the story. He claims Jimmy has multiple sealed documents that the public may never fully see. Prince's angle is that Jimmy learned how to move more carefully, keeping certain details buried while still sitting through proffer sessions. That is a serious claim, especially because he says there were 9 separate sessions connected to the case. Prince then alleges those sessions included information about suppliers, drug dealers, business connections, and even the amounts being purchased. In other words, he is saying Jimmy was not only discussing enemies, he was allegedly laying out how the whole operation worked. That is where the image starts looking completely different. Hip-hop saw a tough industry figure moving like a major player, while Prince claims another story was unfolding behind closed doors with federal investigators. None of this should be treated like casual gossip, but if the paperwork supports even part of it, that is a wild look.
Proffers loosened a torrent of incriminating details, including about his role, the identity of his suppliers, and the quantity of cocaine he had purchased from them.
I'm not gonna lie, everybody has to decide what they believe here. Get in the comments and tell me straight. Did Gerald Prince Miller, the Supreme Team co-founder, really break that paperwork down line by line? Did he read it word for word and show exactly what the documents allegedly say about Jimmy Henchman? Jimmy Henchman is not staying quiet though. He fired back by claiming Prince got punked while he was locked up. Now, what does that have to do with the paperwork? It looks like the move is to discredit the person presenting it instead of directly answering what is written inside those documents.
The means of communication employed by members of the drug trafficking organization and his involvement in laundering the drug proceeds. And in quotation, in parentheses, it says, listing Roseman's statements and describing them as inculpating not only himself, but also a wide variety of others. Now, the actual opposition at 7 and 8 is sealed. You're not going to get that particular document because it actually lists everything he says. And I guess he was smart enough, or his lawyers were smart enough to seal it so you can't see it.
These two are airing out serious accusations about each other, and it keeps getting more personal. But there is a clear difference between somebody telling a story and somebody pointing toward paperwork. We are hearing these claims directly from Jimmy Henchman, and they deserve context, but documents cannot simply be brushed aside. Either the paperwork says what Prince claims it says, or it does not. Then Jimmy pushed the situation even further, and this part caught me completely off guard. Those familiar with Rod Diggs know his name carries major history around Brooklyn, especially near Gowanus and Wyckoff Gardens. Prince and Jimmy are no longer arguing only about old paperwork or prison stories.
What ended up happening was he had crossed the Brooklyn dude. They found out the DC guy ended up beating him up in the cell. He won't deny this because I talked to DC Tone, right? Those are my guys out of DC. And they told me what happened. They said they whipped them in the cell. They knocked them. DC Tone whipped them and then put him on a gate. And then so you have to go into a New York cell at that point because the DC guy said he don't want him in the cell no more. The Brooklyn guys didn't want him in their cell. So at that point, he had to go to the back, the PC. And so the only way that he came back out on the yard was that he talked to the imam for the yard, and then they let him back out because he had took his shahada.
Now another serious name is being pulled into their clash, and that is where this whole situation starts moving into much deeper territory. Brooklyn already knows the background, but everybody else needs to pay close attention. Rod Diggs is reportedly serving multiple life sentences at ADX Florence, with convictions tied to first-degree murder, attempted murder, murder conspiracy, narcotics distribution, racketeering conspiracy, and operating a continuing criminal enterprise. That record shows how serious his name became. if you were not watching what happened around 2006, 2007, and 2008, you might not understand how much fear and attention followed Rod Diggs during that period. People who remember that era know why his name carries weight. Now, Jimmy Henchman tells a story involving Prince and the prison yard. According to Jimmy, Prince had influence wherever they were housed and was viewed as the man calling shots. Then word allegedly came down that Rod Diggs had entered the building, and that is where the story gets tense. Jimmy appears to suggest that Prince may have stopped Rod Diggs from reaching the yard. Think about how heavy that claim is. Rod Diggs already had a reputation, so saying Prince controlled whether he could step onto the yard was meant to challenge Prince's image and power. But is Jimmy telling the full story, or is this another personal shot during their back and forth? Pay close attention. Let's be clear, this is Jimmy Henchman's version of what happened. According to Jimmy, Rod Diggs arrived at the same federal prison where Prince Miller was already holding major influence. Inside the federal system, different groups or cars often move by location, including New York, Queens, and Brooklyn. Jimmy's point is that Prince had status and knew exactly what was happening around that yard. Then word allegedly came down that Rod Diggs had entered the building. Diggs carried a serious reputation and was known as somebody who did not play games. Jimmy is claiming Prince heard about his arrival and made sure Rod Diggs never reached the prison yard.
Again, he is lying. He never asked me. And who the heck is him to ask me? I don't even know you like that. I don't know you at all. And you've always been really a clown to me, man. And I don't respect you to give you nothing. If I'm going to give it to somebody, it's going to be one of my niggas. It ain't going to be you. And maybe if his uncle, Preme, would have asked me, I'd give it to him. But I talk to bosses. I don't talk to little workers like him. I don't talk to workers. They loved him over there. He was telling them everything that was going on. Hey, man, get that guy out of here. In fact, that's why, what's his name, didn't come out to the yard. He was in the hole. Rod Diggs. Rod Diggs, when they transferred him over there, he told them not to let Rod Diggs out. And they transferred him to ADX.
That's crazy.
That is a heavy accusation, especially because it is being used to question whether Prince was really as powerful as people say, or whether he was avoiding a dangerous situation. I do not create the story. I break down what is being said. Get in the comments and tell me how this looks to you, because this back and forth is getting more intense. Both Jimmy Henchman and Prince Miller have histories that make people listen when they speak, but claims still need proof. Paperwork in black and white carries weight, while personal stories can be challenged. So, do you believe Jimmy's version? Or does Prince's paperwork speak louder here? But here is where the whole situation gets tricky. Jimmy Henchman is giving a personal prison story, while Prince Miller is pointing back to paperwork. Those are two completely different kinds of evidence. One side is saying, this is what happened behind those walls, and the other side is saying, read what is written in black and white. That is why this clash keeps getting deeper. Jimmy's story is clearly meant to hit Prince where it hurts, his reputation. If Prince really had control in that prison, Jimmy is asking why Rod Diggs never touched the yard. But that still leaves a lot of questions. Was Prince actually stopping him? Was it a security decision? Was Ray Diggs already under restrictions? Without proof, people are left choosing which version sounds more believable. Prince, on the other hand, keeps bringing the conversation back to the documents. His whole angle is that personal insults cannot erase proffer sessions, names, dates, and statements recorded by authorities. Jimmy can challenge Prince's prison image all day, but Prince is basically saying that does not answer what is inside those files. So now the battle is bigger than Queens versus Brooklyn. It is reputation against paperwork, prison stories against official records, and neither man looks ready to back down. Every new response is pulling another name, another claim, and another hidden detail into the spotlight. I do not know what to believe here. Get in the comments and tell me, is Jimmy Henchman telling the truth, or is he trying to shift attention away from the paperwork? Nobody had pushed this story before, that Prince Miller allegedly stopped Rod Diggs, the Brooklyn bomber, from reaching the prison yard. That is a shocking claim, but it still needs proof and context. Is that really how power moves inside federal prison? Or are details missing from Jimmy's version? Drop your opinion below right now, because this debate is complicated. Smash that like button, subscribe to Dripzine, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown. Around here, we separate documents from rumors and let the audience decide what holds weight. Like 50 Cent said, just look at the paperwork. Salute.
Let Jimmy Henchman tell you I'm a snitch. Let Preme tell you I'm a snitch. Just say it one time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because Jimmy been snitching since 1942. I'm talking Don Julio, nigga. No, I'm telling him check the paperwork. That's all. Check the paperwork.
All right, now
Jimmy, you know that? Jimmy the rat.
You know what I'm telling him? Check the paperwork. That's all. Check the paperwork.
All right, now
Jimmy, you know that?
I ain't got no friends. I ain't got no friends. Just ops. I hate the kids and they pops. Red dot. In them cells, they don't celebrate cops. They do not. You working with them, then you one of them. A G. You not. If you working with the pigs, you one of them. A G. You not. Me against the world like Pac. Speaking on Pac, I got drama with the nigga that got him shot. Red dot. Who this bitch talking about? Saying I made it hot. Said the young boy sliding down them blocks. Not on my watch. Bitch, I'm a businessman. I get money. I mean a lot. You thought red dot. Me against the world like Pac. They hate a lot. Ain't been the same since the shots. Heard them call me a menace. Thanks a lot. Niggas want my spot. Can't have my spot. Fuck the ops. I hate the kids and they pops. Red dot. In them cells, they don't celebrate cops. They do not. You working with them, then you one of them. A G. You not. If you working with the pigs, you one of them. A G. You not.
If we can't be friends, can we at least be enemies?
When one of the laws say when you destroy completely. To the neighborhood, it says don't shoot him, kill him. But what does that mean? What it means in its purest form, the law means avoid altercations at all costs. It means if it's not worth killing him, don't even pursue it. So he stepped on your shoe. All right, yo, what's wrong with you? Say pardon me, man. You stepped on my shit. You know what I'm saying? But don't push the situation further than you have to push it because he stepped on your shoe. See, once it's a violation, if I'm working for my stuff to keep my stuff nice, and you come over here and you step on my shit like it's nothing, like I'm nothing, and you step over, it's not the disrespect of the shoe that is creating the motivation. It's disrespect of me and who I am.